Now, we have a speaker I suspect is fairly well known to some of you here. She is becoming more and more prominent in recent years. It is the very, very greatest pleasure that I introduce a close movement collaborator with us, if not perhaps a campaign member, Tamsin from Climate Rush. Tamsin, please.
So it's kind of tricky because we've heard today what the problem is. We all know what the problem is. And we've heard a matter of what the false solutions are, solutions that our government are exploring. And we've heard some real solutions, solutions that all of us would put our hearts and souls into making happen right now in this country. And what are we? We're 200 people standing in the rain outside those houses there saying, why can't we have our voice? Why can't what we know is right be seen in Parliament and in parliamentary policy? Why are our politicians in the pockets of big businesses and ignoring what will be a problem, a very real problem, in the next 5-10 years? And it's tricky because, you know, I want to stand here, I want to fill you all with hope that actually we're about to reach this tipping point. We're about to reach the point when public opinion meets us and when we're standing with tens of thousands of people behind us. But we're not there yet. And that's a really, really big problem. So what I want to tell you about is why there's still so much reason to have so much faith. Because there have been pockets of resistance before in history. And those pockets of resistance are what have allowed the human race to progress. Not in the progress that our politicians tell us we need. More sacking the planet, more use of resources to expand industries that are not sustainable. We're talking about progress in the humanity. It's the progress of deciding that actually black people do have the same rights as white people, that women have the same rights as men, that we don't need slaves to fuel our economy or our industry. There have been so many great leaps, and those leaps have been foregrounded by pockets of resistance, like this pocket here standing with us today. So it's tricky. What we're asking from the politicians is that they go to Copenhagen and that they go there with a level of credibility to actually lead on these issues. That they go there without 24 airports planning to be expanded, without a new generation of coal-fired power. We're asking to go there and to be able to stand up tall and say, what we know is right is what we're going to be discussing here at Copenhagen. So the weird thing about human faith is that it sort of exceeds the circumstances. We are in a unique historical situation. The enormity of the problem has never been felt. It is a global problem, and it will take global collaboration to conquer it. This is an opportunity like never before, an opportunity for people to stand together, for communities like ours to team up with communities across the nation, across the country, across the world, and to actually have our voices heard. But I think what we need to start thinking creatively about is how do we make our voices heard? We're standing here now and there's a group of us. Hopefully we'll have the media and they'll amplify our message somewhat tomorrow. But we really need to be asking ourselves, how are we going to put the fear of God into the politicians before they go to Copenhagen? I'm part of a group called Climate Rush, and we model ourselves on the proud tradition of direct action that we have in our country, specifically the suffragettes. In such a short space of time, they made the impossible real. Right now, we're standing here thinking, how on earth are we going to change policy? How on earth are we going to get our politicians into Copenhagen and actually speaking about the real issues, the real problems of climate justice? And for that, I want to say that we need a presence, and we need such an almighty presence. And for that, I want to advocate civil disobedience and direct action. On the 5th of December, the NGOs are organising a march. It will be one of the most monumentous climate marches that we've had so far in this country. We're expecting 70,000 people to congregate on the 5th of December at 3 p.m. just down the road from Parliament Square. what I want to say to you is that on the 5th of December, we have an opportunity to do more than just march. Why march when you can rush? What I would like to tell you guys is that on the 5th of December at 3 p.m, there will be a vanguard of that march, and we will walk towards this building here. We will bang on the doors and we will get entrance. When we enter, we will occupy Parliament. We will green it up. We'll put wind turbines on the roof. We'll put solar panels on the roof. We'll do seed bombing all through the different gardens that they have in those palaces. It is so important to have our voices heard and to have it felt, to have the media amplifying our message and to use our own media, the internet, to ping that message across the world. All I can say is check out our website, get involved, because marching, lobbying, talks like this, they provide moments for our communities to get together, to feel inspired about what we can do and what we can achieve. But we need to do more. And I hope that you'll join the Climate Rush campaign and do more with us. I'm just going to end with a small quote from Emmeline Pankhurst, who is, obviously a huge personal motivation and probably a huge influence on all of us for believing that we can achieve the impossible. And she said this: "You have to make more noise than anybody else. You have to make yourself more obtrusive than anybody else. You have to fill all the papers more than anybody else. In fact, you have to be there all the time and see that they do not snow you under, if you are really going to get your revolution realised." Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I'm just going to say, we've heard here in the rain a standard debate and ideas that is I think, higher than you hear in there. And not only that, but the debate here today has been closer to the future. If there is going to be a future, it's here and it's not there. Even if it's a ragged bunch of people in the rain, this pocket of resistance is, as Tamsin would say, this is where the future is going to be. If there is a future, it just needs to happen as fast as possible. I just really wanted to finish with some announcements focusing to the future. This has been the first Climate Emergency Parliament. We want to hold climate emergency meetings around the country in the run-up to the big demonstration that Tamsin's talked about in December. Perhaps another Climate Emergency Parliament. It will probably be indoors with a bit more time for real debate. Also coming up, you heard the speaker from Vestas. We're still working this out, but there may well be a meeting about Vestas specifically and the 600 jobs in green industry that we so sorely need being got rid of. There may be a meeting next week, so please watch the website and watch out for that, a meeting about Vestas next week. Looking forward, there's the train to Copenhagen. We're organising a Euro train to Copenhagen. Please watch out for the website for that. Going to Copenhagen to take the message there on the 12th. And on December the 5th, we will be holding a climate emergency rally just before the march to make sure that there is a radical message for real radical solutions like 10% cuts by the end of next year on December the 5th. So you'll be able to go there. I'm sure you'll be able to rush for Parliament afterwards as well if you want to. So thanks a lot for coming, for being willing to discuss the future of the planet in the rain, and